To me, great art is the truth, which is God, which is love, that magic that we feel when we listen to our favorite song, you see your favorite painting, you watch your favorite film. And that magic is my little guide. One of those moments was making this record, Escapism.
Sleezing and teasing, I'm sitting on them. All of my diamonds are dripping on them.
I'm Mike Sabbath. I'm lucky enough to be here at Разбор with MixWithTheMasters.
A little context if you care to listen. I find myself in a shit position.
I wouldn't necessarily consider myself a master, but I would consider myself someone who loves to create and has done it since I was a little baby, and it's just a part of my experience here. And I've continued to gravitate towards it. I've continued to love it. I've continued to express myself and find new ways to evolve and find new ways to be open and to grow and to continue to grow and to feel it more and more and more and more. And that basis in itself, to me, is really the foundation of my entire approach to creating, which is following that feeling, which is following the magic that you get, the magic when you're a kid, with the magic that when you feel something and you're like, ooh, and you follow that. And that guide is kind of the thing that I really try to focus on, the thing that I try to follow, and the thing that I gravitate towards in my decision making in my life and in creation, which the more they're aligned, the more powerful the art becomes, I feel, because to me, the greatest art is that which is the closest representation of reality, or a completely different perspective on that reality. But when you're living with some form of honesty in yourself, that honesty is reflected in the art. One of those moments was making this record, Escapism, which had a life of its own that I was not necessarily anticipating. I personally love Ray. She's incredible. We met like 6 years ago now. She will always forever describe it as the time before I had facial hair. Been through things together, watch each other go through things in life, and all of that richness adds to the art. It adds to the depth of the art. Literally the first song we made together was Hard Out Here, which is on the album. And we just really connected on a really powerful level just from day one. And being a producer is that part. Both the friendship aspect of it and the space in the room, because again, life and creation, when the closer they are, the more powerful the art, in my opinion. And so we've created ever since then, 6 years. We were just making ideas, making things whenever we could. She'd be in London, sometimes I'd go there, sometimes I'd be in LA. And she, honestly, Ray is probably it's the first album that I've executive produced, so she's the first artist that I fully connected with on that level, on that magic, that wow. And that the magic, again, is what's special, and that's the fun part about creating in general. That's the beautiful part, that's the beauty in it. It's when you get to experience magic, that is the greatest feeling in the world, and I feel very lucky to be able to do that. When you can capture that magic, that's the importance of art and culture, when you can capture it and you can share it, and other people get to experience that magic too. And that's the whole point at the end of the day. An artist's album is their baby, it's their child. So someone to trust you with that and to help raise it and help then birth it into the world is a really sacred act. It's something I don't take for granted, and something that I take seriously. And with that seriousness, I bring as much lightness to it as possible as well, because you need that space. Creating the healthy and safe space for the artist is another extremely important thing in the producer chair. It's being able to let them be the truest, most honest version of themselves, because in their most honest, vulnerable moments, when you can capture that on a microphone, that's all that matters. Because even for me, I'm still learning so much, but a big thing that I've learned recently for the past 2 years is the idea of creating a record and the idea of producing someone often comes with, we need to go in, we need to have all the best things and whatever, and we need to do 100 takes of the chorus lead so that it's perfect, so that we can comp it, and then it's perfect. We have to do this a million times and make sure this is right a million times, do this thing and do all these things a million times and get it right. When in reality, the magic often comes just in the simplest moments. It's not a million things in life. It's like literally in a quiet room and you're with this other human being where in culture they're, wow, but in those moments when you can get it to that moment of this is another human being and they do a take that is honest, that take will be greater and more impactful than 100 of them trying to get it right. You know, we're probably like 6 songs into the album at this point or something like that. I don't know, maybe 8. And in general, like I personally don't really sit and like make beats. I used to do that for, you know, literally 18 years in my basement. I definitely was making endless beats and dreaming up random ideas and making up stories and making songs in my family's basement for a long time. But now, like, I don't really make beats necessarily or anything like that. I really love to be with friends, like be with the artist or something and create ideas from that moment. But, however, maybe I should do it more because this one actually was that. So this is the only song from the album that I made an idea beforehand. This is before we went out to Park City and we were like, got this little cabin with me, Ray, and her engineer. We that's where we like made some more ideas. It was right before we went out there. I was like going to bed, and again, some of the most honest moments, again, like I was very tired. So there's no room for my mind to get in the way. I was literally about to go to bed. I was in bed and I was watching old, like on my feed, just like old Jay-Z videos started coming up of him playing live, and it was just like juice to me, and it got me like really energized, and I was just like, oh. I was like, okay, and I just like got up out of bed. And I have my little setup right by it, and I just was like turned everything on, and just like walked over to the Mellotron, just like random. I was just like, just like random. I don't even know what the fuck that was, but and then so yeah, played that, and it was just like. Right. Which was quite random, but it was how I was feeling in that moment. I was just like, ah! That track is, you can see it's called Screamer. You'll notice as we go through this, I am not one to label my tracks very well for the purposes of this. I actually had a moment where I was thinking about it. I was like, should I label the tracks really well? But to be honest, I wanted to show you the most honest version of what my sessions look like, which is just like this. It's not too insane, but anyway. So yeah, so I made that little Mellotron sound. I used this delay, which, oh wow, this is a big secret of mine. That's okay. It's okay. I guess this is what this is for. It's not even really a secret, but this plugin is very, very great. Brainworks Plugin Alliance, the BX Delay 2500. And to be honest, with plugins in general, I don't really know how to use any of these. I just will click one that I want to try, throw it on there, and then I'll just play with the knobs until I enjoy the way that it sounds, is the reality. And this one I just happened to like, I still haven't gone through a lot of the Brainworks plugins, but every single time I touch one, I love it. So this is super fire. And you can, there's like a bundle you can get, you subscribe to it, and you get this one. It's super fire. And it's basically just a really beautiful delay that has a lot of character to it that I really enjoy. So I'll actually play you the Mellotron solo, and you'll probably be like, wow, that sounds awful. Let's see, actually, I don't know, maybe it won't sound awful. It's like the same situation, but it's just a little less character, essentially, is all that's happening. It's just a dry Mellotron. And then you put a little bit of this on there, and you're like, wow. Just adds a little more character. And that little extra juice of character is pretty much, again, all you want in any decision making. If something's not giving it enough, sometimes some of these plugins are helpful. And pretty much I was just playing with these here knobs, just the time delay and everything like that. And the feedback kept it the same. It just gives it a little more juice.